You know, here we are midsummer here in Iowa, and I'm just out doing some scouting, glassing deer, kind of taking an inventory of what I've got, and doing it from a distance. I've got one of the new Alpen spotting scopes. It's a 20 by 60. But one of the things I really like about this, it comes with a tripod, and it's got micro adjustments, so it's real easy to zoom in and move around and find those animals. But basically, this is a great tool to help me manage the farm all year round. If you're looking for a great way to do some scouting, do it in the evening from a distance with a nice spotting scope. You know, good optics are a must for a hunter, particularly binoculars, not only during hunting season, but times like this when it's time to start scouting. But there's one thing you need to do when you get your binoculars that a lot of people don't realize. You need to set them up for yourself. Everybody's eyes are a little bit different. And here's how I do it. It's simple and easy. Just take the binoculars and just kind of grab good focus on an object. And I go and put my hand over the left lens. The diopter ring, which is on the right side, I will go ahead and adjust that until that right eye is in focus. Once it is, I take the hand off the other side, both eyes in focus, and you're ready to go. It's simple and easy, and it's a must that you do this before you go out and use them. You know, good optics are a must for a hunter. The new Alpen Tetons. They're lighter, they're better in low light, excellent glass. You'll be hard pressed to find that glass for under $1,000. Everything that you would want in a pair of optics. I know what I'm looking for, and once I know what I'm looking for and find what it is, that's what I'm interested in buying. The bottom line is they're affordable, they're lighter, and they're great in low light. The new Alpen Tetons. Another deer coming out. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to On the Hunt with Alpen Optics. I'm your host, Rick White, and tonight's guest is Jason Jones, all the way from Fresno, California. Now, Jason's a firefighter. He's going to be talking a little bit about that, some black-tailed deer hunting, some turkey hunting, a little bit of everything. And don't forget our weekly special. Well, welcome back, everybody. Once again, On the Hunt with Alpen Optics, and we sure are glad to have you with us this evening. Now, our guest comes all the way from Fresno, California, Mr. Jason Jones. Jason, how are you doing this evening?
Good, Rick. How are you?
I'm great. In fact, I shouldn't say this evening because out your way, you're still in the afternoon. But hey, tell the folks just a little bit about yourself.
I'm from California originally. I've been in the fire service for about 30 years. I've been hunting since I was 4 years old. I love it out here. I love blacktail hunting. I've hunted several states: Missouri, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Oregon. Kind of hunted all over. But my passion is definitely hunting the blacktail. That's for sure.
Well, that's great. But before we get into some hunting related stories and that kind of thing, I've been intrigued with your firefighting. You know, that's a job for you, and I know California, not only this year but many years in the past, have had terrible wildfires. You know, what you know, is that season over right now, or are you still right in the midst of it?
We're gearing up for the season early. In fact, as we were talking before the show started, Southern California has a new fire. Evacuations are going on. A couple hundred acres. Several states, Arizona, New Mexico, have fires. 14 states are in drought. It's going to be a bad season.
Yeah. How many years have you been fighting fires?
Almost 30.
30 years. Well, give us a little rundown of what you go through, while you're out there fighting fires.
Well, I mean, it's hard to talk about, one thing over another, but, it's definitely physically and mentally, it gets tough. You're gone from family for months on end, lots of hard work, lots of fatigue. You see some people at their worst moments that lose everything, and then you see the other side of generosity and people reaching out and wanting to give us food and take care of us, and we're just there to help people and do what we love. And it's not for none of us out there is it an 8 to 5. It's a passion, and it's something that we love and we believe in, and we do because we love helping people.
Right. Are there any organizations that you're part of that if someone that was watching wanted to help, is there a way that those folks, us here in the Midwest, is there anything we can do to help any types of organization out that way when it comes to fires?
As a matter of fact, I just got appointed to the board of directors for the Eric Marsh Foundation. The Eric Marsh Foundation helps firefighters and their families. If a firefighter is hurt on a wildland fire or loses their life, the Eric Marsh Foundation will come in and donate money, get counselors, do what they can to help. We help firefighters around the world. So if anybody is ever, how do I help? How can I donate? To me, there's no better way. When families are at their worst and they need help, go to the Eric Marsh Foundation website, donate. There's events that we do. They're going to be in New York at a huge conference, FDIC West, here pretty soon. But that organization is top of the line. Amanda, the widow of Eric Marsh, it's her passion. An amazing lady. But if I were to say to go anywhere, I would go there.
Well, that's great. What's their website?
EricMarshFoundation.com.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, I certainly appreciate yourself along with all the other folks that just help people in general. But fighting fires is, I'm sure, very dangerous at times. And, thank goodness there's people out there that are willing to do it. And I know I've talked to you before and you mentioned it, but, you're gone sometimes for months at a time. And, when I used to travel and was hunting like during elk season, I would be gone for a month, just 1 month. And that's hard. I can't imagine being gone for as long as you are. And then the stress on top of that, I'm out hunting, having fun and enjoying myself. But you've got stress every day of the year when you're out fighting fires. And that's got to be tough.
Yeah. And you get out there and you may come home for a week and you recharge a little bit and see the family and see your friends, but you're always in the back of your mind, know that phone could ring at any minute and you have to go to another fire, or you're out on a fire and you're on downtime and you're in a hotel and you think you're going to get a day to relax, and nope, phone rings and off you go. So it's always in the back of your mind that you're going to go. And unfortunately that voice in the back of your head is always telling you, there may be that chance you may not come home. Right. So it's something that's stuck with, it's with all of us, and we try not to think about it. We go do the best we can so we can come home to our families and friends and help those in need at the time when they need us the most.
Right. Well, on behalf of myself and Alpen and I'm sure all the folks watching, we certainly appreciate your hard work. So let's talk some California hunting.
All right.
Now it's been a long time. I actually years ago was in Southern California doing seminars. Maybe you're familiar with the Turner retail stores, but I did seminars for them years ago. And there's a few things that I was really intrigued about California. Now I haven't spent much time out there, but I really loved the wine country. And I also liked going to the coast because they had some of the best seafood. And I'm a shrimp and lobster guy, but you've got, your state has a little bit of everything because you have the plains, you have the mountains, you
you have warm weather, you have cold weather. I mean, you kind of have it all. And where exactly is Fresno? Let the folks know. Not everybody probably knows exactly where you're at.
It's basically in Central California.
Yep.
So it's where we're located. It's flat, but an hour I'm in the mountains, and that's what like you said, California is so diverse. We have oceans, we have high peaks, we have timber, we have brush, we have desert. It just depends on what you want. You can go.
Right. Well, I know we're going to talk about some blacktail hunting here, and but I know you went out turkey hunting this year, and I always kind of give a little bit of an update on where I'm at with turkey season. And I'm actually back home now in my home state. Just got back from Kentucky actually, and our turkeys are actually working pretty good right now. Hens are starting to nest. I would say the hunting's gotten a little bit better. I am seeing in most states I've hunted that the turkey numbers are down compared to what they were 3 or 4 years ago. I'm not really sure. How are California's turkey numbers? I mean, what are you guys looking at?
I think our numbers are up. It seemed like we saw plenty of birds. Opening weekend, we killed 2. It just was an odd year for calling and just how the birds were acting. But most places I hunted or networked with other guys, numbers are up. And in California, there's an abundance of turkeys. Our season is finished. I think we have this weekend. Archery will be over this weekend.
It's funny you say that about what I've noticed in most places and talking to a lot of people this year. Turkeys are acting different. They're not a lot of places. They're not working to the call. Now I've been on some that just came running in, but overall, I would say my season has been, I've been very successful, but it's been on the tough side. Turkeys aren't reacting like they normally have in the past. And I've noticed a lot of gobblers, when they hit the ground, they're done gobbling. And usually in the afternoon, if you usually can get on one and call one in, I didn't see that near as much this year. So they are acting a little bit weird, not only there, but in a lot of places. So I know your passion is blacktail deer. Now, obviously, we don't have blacktails in my neck of the country, and I've never hunted them. So I'm not an authority whatsoever on blacktail deer. So, guide us through, what's a blacktail deer? How does it differ from whitetail? What's the terrain like compared to, say, I know you hunt in Missouri for whitetail. I mean, compare some of those things.
Well, where we hunt in California on our ranch, we have a lot of rolling hills, timber, brush. We have a lot of manzanita in California, a lot of chamise, a lot of oak trees. The blacktail love the acorns. We have, like I said, our terrain is so much different than like Missouri, where it's much flatter. When we're back there, it's much cooler. Our season here for archery is in August. Our rifle season is in September. It's not unheard of to be out there hunting blacktail and it's over 100 degrees. So it's a lot different from then to when I hunt in Missouri, which is in November. And the deer act different. Blacktail have great eyesight. They smell really well. We do a lot of spot and stock here, so optics are a must. We also do the old-fashioned deer drive, put a bunch of guys on a mountain, put a sitter, and try and push deer to the guy sitting. But we put a lot of hard work into blacktail because it's not, I think some guys may hunt out of a tree stand or go ground blind around water. I've never done it. I've always been spot and stalk, do a deer drive, that sort of thing.
I come from Deer Drive Central here in Iowa. We do a lot of it, and I cut my teeth doing that when I was just a kid. Now, explain the differences between a whitetail and a blacktail. I think that's a misconception that a lot of people have.
To me, the blacktail, they're a little harder to hunt, I guess, because it is spot and stalk. You can't just sit around. I mean, maybe this year and some of the years past with little water, you can sit on a water hole and hope they come in. There's an abundance.
Physical difference between the deer.
I think the whitetail are a little bit bigger in some areas. A good size blacktail is about 85, 90 pounds. That's a big
whitetail in Iowa can weigh 300 pounds.
Right. So it's a smaller deer. You got to kind of get used to the taste because of what they eat out here. They eat some berries, but most of it is sage, acorns, where deer out there, like the ones in Missouri, are eating corn, soybeans. They're eating really good stuff. The one thing that's different, we call a deer with 4 on one side, it's a 4-pointer.
Right.
Where you guys are, it's an 8-pointer. We just count the sides, not every point.
What's a decent score of a black-tailed deer? What's a good, obviously, you shoot, I don't know, it's in the eye of the beholder, but let's say 130, 140 inch whitetail, which is a good deer. What's a good blacktail?
I think probably 170, 180. I don't know. You know what, Rick? I haven't measured one in a while. My blacktail seasons have been non-existent the last few years because darn fire season won't let me go hunt.
Right. Now, what about your seasons, your length of seasons? I know they're a little bit different now than when you first started hunting them.
Yeah, and like I said, so about the first week in August till the second week in September is our archery season. And then from the third weekend in September, however that last weekend lands, whether it's October or the first weekend in November, that's when it closes. And the cool thing is during our deer season, we can also hunt bear. So we buy a bear tag because on our ranch we have bears. So you have that opportunity to come across the bear and harvest one.
Now I don't believe can you bait bear in California?
No, and no dogs either.
And no dogs. Okay.
Right.
I have never hunted bear over dogs, but I have shot some bear and they most of them over bait. Although I shot one in Canada one time where it was just a spot and stalk, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And how is your bear hunting? Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty decent. We've harvested 3 bears off our ranch in as many years, but it's not something that we're super into. We're if you come across one and it's a good size and someone wants to harvest it, then we do. But we're more into the blacktail hunting and trying to get a trophy buck while we're out there.
Gotcha. What about predator hunting? You have a lot of predators?
Oh yeah, we have a huge coyote problem. Unfortunately, California just passed another law. We can't harvest bobcats anymore.
Oh boy. So
our turkey population may take a hit, our quail, those populations. But as far as coyote hunting, oh yeah, we can, any opportunity we get, we either predator hunt, or if we come across them when we're hunting, we take a shot.
Yeah, predators, especially for, when you're talking bobcats, you're talking turkeys and songbirds and rabbits and squirrels. And I mean, they take a toll, on a lot of animals. Now, having bobcats is fine, but having too many bobcats is a problem. And that's where, in my opinion, hunting is really a game management tool. And I think you'll agree with me. You've got to have a check on numbers. I mean, and that's just the way it has to be. I mean, possum and raccoons and skunks are terrible on songbirds and turkeys, and because they get the eggs, and a lot of people don't realize that. Even people's farm cats that get out, not that they farm cats just running around, but the ones that go wild,
right.
Just like wild dogs, they decimate. Look, do you have wolves out in your area?
No, but we do have mountain lions.
Yeah, and on those areas they just decimate elk herds and deer herd, and so yeah, hopefully the hunters, they can stay together and get involved with some of the organizational groups and figure out what the right mix is and what the answer is. So
right.
Hopefully,
and we're always trying. We're always trying that, meeting with whoever to try and find that happy medium of keeping a balance so we don't lose what we have.
Right. And not to really step back, but equipment in the hunting world has changed dramatically in the years that I've been hunting. Let's go back into your fighting fires. How's the equipment there changed in the 30 years you've been working?
Oh, absolutely. We have, bigger aircraft. We have more efficient engines, more staffing, better firefighting tools. All that's great, but it doesn't change the boots on the ground and the men and women doing the job. But, oh yeah, it's evolved, and it's evolving constantly, because lately just the fires are getting so big so quickly. We're always trying to figure out how to be one step ahead.
What causes a majority of your fires? I mean, is it all mainly storm related, or what?
Number one is human caused. Dragging a chain, arson, not talking to your local fire agency and finding out that you're not supposed to be burning leaves, riding lawnmower when it's 100 degrees out and striking a rock. It's a lot of different things. Now in August or July, August, then you can start getting lightning and those types of things. If we have a wind event, then power lines come down. It's a mixture, but number one is human caused.
Right. Well, I'm sure that there's a website for your state somewhere where people can go on and maybe at least look into what causes them, and maybe they can help to not cause fires. But
and there's all kinds of wildfire prevention weeks and things you can look into and that will help you. And then there's things that you can look into about knowing if there's a fire in your area and evacuations and what to do and what to take with you and those types of things.
So here's a serious question. Do you guys really have the best wine in the country?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I loved going to if you've never been to California, I know there's lots of crazy things going on, but California is a beautiful state. And I got to go visit, I went around and visited quite a few of the wine vineyards and of course got to sample wine, and it is absolutely fabulous. Now, some people say Northern California is better wine country, and some people say Southern California. Which is it? You're right in the middle, so you can pick one or the other.
Yeah, to me, it's always been Northern, but unfortunately, a lot of the Northern California wineries and places that have been around for 100 years that were decimated in some of the fires. And it's unfortunate because some of those places were so beautiful. And then some of the grapes were, smoke. They had so much smoke on them and ash. But I would say Northern California, Napa Valley, Calistoga, those areas have some of the best wine.
When we were talking the other day, you were telling me, and I knew this, but I don't know if everybody watching knows this. You're not allowed to use lead in California. I don't even think you're allowed to use lead sinkers when you're fishing. But I know you can't when you're hunting. So what are you shooting?
Yeah, we have to use synthetics, steel, duck hunting. All our bird hunting is now steel shot. Anything synthetic, nothing with lead in it. And it goes back to, like you and I were talking the other day, is you got to, one, read the regulations, and then these platforms, social media, network with other hunters. Hey, I might be coming to Iowa. What do I need to know? When I go to Missouri, I got to wear orange. When I hunt in California, I don't. When I hunt in Missouri, I can use lead. Here, I cannot. It's best to go in knowing as much as you can so you don't get in trouble. We don't need to give people any more reason to want to fight our right to hunt by making mistakes. And you honestly don't want to lose your license or get that ticket at the end of the day. because they're not cheap from what I understand, but it's best to network, read the regulations. And then, hey, you never know. You might meet somebody networking that will turn you on to a great area, and your hunt might even be more successful.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That's a great advice. Read the rules and regulations, because I hunt a lot of different states, and just about every one of them is different.
Right.
You know, I want to talk just a little bit about probably one of the most important things that I talk about, especially when I'm doing seminars, and that's safety. And I just heard of an instance where a turkey hunter got shot, and it happens every year. But you know what? It shouldn't happen. This person was mistaken for a turkey, and someone shot this person. And I've heard that all too many times. And I've met several people in the past that have been shot. And, you know, when I talk safety, you just got to remember a few things. First of all, I mean, identify your target. That's simple enough.
Right.
But I tell people in the turkey woods, stay away from the colors red, white, and blue, because those are the colors of a turkey's head. And, you know, some people are saying, well, who wears red to the turkey woods? Well, who wears white socks to the turkey woods? A lot of people. And when you sit down at that tree and that pant leg rides up above your boot, and now you've got that white sock that's exposed, and you're moving your foot just a little bit here and there, and you're making turkey sounds, you're calling. I mean, there's a problem. I know that some of the people I've talked to have tried sneaking up on turkeys and have been shot. So just use common sense. And if you experience somebody in the woods that, you know, and I've had people sneak in on me on private ground, don't wave at them and try to get their attention. Just in a natural voice, without moving, just say, hey, I'm a turkey hunter, I'm over here. Get their attention so they can identify you as a person, and then, you know, then do your movement so they know exactly where you're at. And when you're setting up your decoys, make sure you can see in a straight line beyond your decoys, because that's the only way you can get shot, is in a straight line. So, and I'm sure California, every state has on their DNR website, has things that you can read about safety. But guys, don't go to the woods without taking some type of safety course, or going with someone that's experienced the first time, because I know people get excited, but there's no reason for anybody to get shot in the turkey woods. Anyways, Jason, hang on for just a few minutes. I want to get into our weekly special. We're at that time in the show that every week we have a great weekly special, and this week's no difference. We're going to call this the Jason Jones favorite binocular special. Jason, what are those binoculars?
The Teton 10x42s.
All right, the model 82 10x42 Teton binoculars. It's our best ED glass, best low light conditions, Abbey Koning prisms. They gather, transfer, and retain 95% of all available light. Most regular prism binos are between 50 and 60% retention. So incredibly bright, and like a lot of our binoculars, they come with a lens cleaning pen. Now these binoculars not only have a lifetime warranty and are waterproof. They normally are priced at $549.99. We're going to run a special on site at, oh my gosh, I'm just reading this. Let's see, we're on our site at $100. We're going to do way better than that on our hunt special, half off sale price. Okay, so half, I'm trying to read this in my notes here. Half of $459. Am I reading this right? So normal price $549.99. We're going to knock $100 off because we've got a special going on at $100. But now we're going to run half off of that. So you take the 100 off. We're at $459.99. Half price is going to be $230 through Sunday. I was a little confused here because I've never seen them this cheap. That is, I'm telling you, folks, and I say this a lot on every show, but these are my go-to binoculars. These are my favorite pair of binoculars. ED glass doesn't get any better than ED glass. That is the binocular to get. And I tell everybody, if you're going out to buy one pair of binoculars and you want to spend a little bit of money, buy the Tetons. Jason, you've used them. They're great, aren't they?
I love them, and I love how lightweight they are. They're not heavy, and when you put them up, it's clear as day. I mean, they're just amazing, and I love the outer shell of them, how they feel in my hand. They don't slip when they get wet. They're amazing binoculars.
Yeah, ED glass. So normal price is $549.99, and right now on the website they're running a special at $100 off. Okay, on this show, which brings it down to $459.99. On this show, we're going to take 50% off of that sale price, which I don't think we've ever done. So they're now $230 through Sunday evening. All you have to do is get on the Bresser USA website or the Alpen website and click on the Model 82 10x42 Teton binoculars, and in the promo code, just type in "on the hunt," low casing with no spacing, and you'll get 50% off. So once again, $230. And folks, if you don't take advantage of this, you're missing out on a great deal, because these are my favorite and Jason's favorite. Jason, hey, you have any closing comments for the folks that are watching from California?
I just know the guys in shipping are really going to hate you and I after that little promo, because they're going to be shipping binoculars like crazy.
Well, that's good.
Just go back to what we're talking about. For hunters, just be safe out there when you're out hunting, both safety while you're hunting, and be careful when you're sighting in your rifle. Make sure it's not warm and you accidentally hit a rock and spark a fire. When you're cooking with open flame, just be careful. As hunters, we got to, keep the heat off of us so we can keep doing what we love, because there's people out there that don't believe in what we believe in. If you can take a new hunter out, do it. Youth, women, whoever you can take a new hunter out, show them how it's done, and let's preserve this way of life that we love so much.
All right. Well spoken, Jason. Hey, thank you for being on our show.
Thank you, Rick.
Next week's show, we have Lars Erickson as our guest, all the way from Western Colorado, kind of out towards you. So we're going to talk a little bit of elk hunting and turkey hunting and bear hunting and a little bit of everything. But folks, we certainly appreciate you tuning in with us tonight on The Hunt with Alpen Optics, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Let's talk a little bit about Alpen and Bresser Optics. Now, they have a full line of optics, but what I want to talk to you now about is rangefinders. They have several different varieties of handheld rangefinders and the new bow rangefinder. Now, for you bow hunters, you go ahead and sight in at 20 yards and you calibrate it to your 20-yard pin, and when you're at full draw, whatever you're pointing that 20-yard pin on an object, it'll tell you the yardage. So whether you like a handheld or you want to put one on your bow, we have both options for you here at Alpen and Bresser Optics. Good optics are a must for a hunter, particularly binoculars, not only during hunting season, but times like this when it's time to start scouting. But there's one thing you need to do when you get your binoculars that a lot of people don't realize. You need to set them up for yourself. Everybody's eyes are a little bit different. And here's how I do it. It's simple and easy. Just take the binoculars and just kind of grab good focus on an object. And I go and put my hand over the left lens. The diopter ring, which is on the right side, I will go ahead and adjust that until that right eye is in focus. Once it is, I take the hand off the other side, both eyes in focus, and you're ready to go. It's simple and easy, and it's a must that you do this before you go out and use them. Here we are midsummer here in Iowa, and I'm just out doing some scouting, glassing deer, kind of taking an inventory of what I've got, and doing it from a distance. I've got one of the new Alpen spotting scopes. It's a 20 by 60.
But one of the things I really like about this, it comes with a tripod and it's got micro adjustments. So it's real easy to zoom in and move around and find those animals. But basically, this is a great tool to help me manage the farm all year round. If you're looking for a great way to do some scouting, do it in the evening from a distance with a nice spotting scope.